just 2 days, this bike will be on its way to Romania and Red Bull Romaniacs. It's honestly been a pretty stressful few weeks trying to balance work, moving house and getting the bike ready. But now I think we are finally there. The bike is pretty much ready to load onto the trailer. So, before we leave Sweden, I thought we'd do one final bike check and I'll show you exactly how I'm setting up my 450MT for one of the toughest off-road races in the world. Before we get started though, I just want to say a big thank you to Lingvalls Motor for supporting my Red Bull Romaniacs project. Their support really helps make this whole adventure possible. Thank you. Alright, let's take a closer look. Protection. One thing I've learned over the last year is that if you are riding a 450MT properly off-road, sooner or later you are going to hit something. So protecting the bike has been pretty important. Starting up front, I'm still running the Polysport handguards. They have already taken plenty of hits and they have done exactly what they are supposed to do. On the engine, I've also installed the Polysport engine covers. They are only plastic, but if the bike lands on a sharp rock, they spread the impact over a larger area instead of having all that force concentrated to one point. I've done the same thing on the swing arm using Polysport swing arm protectors. Again, they are lightweight, inexpensive, and hopefully they'll save me from some expensive damage if I drop the bike on the rocks. Underneath the bike, I'm running the Raid Garage skid plate. There are definitely heavier skid plates available with more protection, but that also means more weight. This one adds just over 1 kilo compared to the stock one. For me, it's the right balance between protection and keeping the bike as light as possible. Every modification on this bike has been made with one goal: getting through Red Bull Romaniacs. I've covered this setup in much more detail in previous videos, so I keep this one short. I'm running Andriani cartridge in the forks, together with the TFX rear shock. The front fork has also just been serviced, so I'm starting the race with fresh oil, new seals and everything checked over. It's a setup that I have been really happy with over the last year, and I honestly wouldn't want to tackle Romaniacs on the original suspension. Ergonomics. When you're standing on the pegs for hours, the small details become surprisingly important. I'm still running CFMOTO's rally foot pegs. Before this trip, I also replaced every single peg pin with brand new ones, so they are nice and sharp again. The extra grip makes a noticeable difference when your boots get wet or muddy. I'm also still using the taller seat. Personally, I think it's much more comfortable than the lower version. The lower seat drops you further into the bike, while this one makes it easier to move around and stand up quickly. Unless you are quite short, I definitely recommend the tall seat. I have also adjusted the handlebars slightly further forward and into a more upright riding position. I'm using the shorter levers from AliExpress that I've shown before. One modification that I'm really happy with is the rear brake pedal. I fitted a CNC machined brake tip with an angled design. This one sticks out less than the original one, which means there are less chance of catching it on rocks and roots and bending the whole brake pedal. It's a small modification, but hopefully one that saves me from headache during the race. So thank you very much, Andy, for this part. Exhaust. Now around the exhaust. It's actually the third decat pipe I fitted to this bike. Not because they wear out, but because I keep smashing them into logs and rocks. The previous one was almost completely flattened underneath. so before Romaniacs I decided to replace it again. I have also fitted my lightweight slip-on silencer. It isn't necessarily the one that sounds the best, but it's by far the lightest one I own. And right now I'm prioritizing weight over sound. If anyone wants the same setup, I leave affiliate links for both the decat pipe and the silencer down in the description. Wheels. Probably the biggest transformation together with the suspension. They are from SOS Racing Parts, and honestly, they have exceeded my expectations. I'm running a tubeless setup together with 𝐀𝐝𝐯𝐞𝐧𝐭. For Romaniacs, I've mounted Michelin Enduro medium tires front and rear. These are proper enduro tires and should give me all the grip I can get. Out of every modification I've done to this bike, I actually say that the wheels, together with the suspension, have made the biggest difference. Reliability. Performance is one thing. Finishing the race is something completely different. So quite a few of the things I've done recently have simply been about reliability. I have installed a brand new battery, not because the old one failed, but because batteries are relatively cheap, and I don't want to start the race wondering if the old one would survive another season. The bike has also received a full service last week, and everything looked good. I fitted new brake pads front and rear, the fork has been serviced, I installed stronger clutch springs together with new release bearing. At the moment I'm still running the original clutch plates, but after today's test ride I'll decide whether I leave them as they are or replace them once I arrive in Romania. Graphics. You probably also noticed that the bike has completely new graphics. I will make a separate video about those after Romaniacs, because I know there are going to be a lot of questions. There will also be versions available without my personal sponsor logos if you are interested in getting a similar look for your own bike. Tools. I've also started preparing all the tools and spare parts required for the event. One requirement is that you must be able to remove both wheels. I've got that covered with a compact rally raid tool that works on both front and rear axle. I will also be carrying spare fuses and a few other mandatory items. Because I'm running Moose, I don't need to carry tire levers anymore. Instead, I will carry a tire plug kit together with some chemical metal in case I need to make a temporary repair somewhere out on the course. So that's pretty much where the bike stands today. Is it perfect? Probably not. There are always things you wish you had more time to improve. And honestly, I probably wish I had a few more weeks to train as well. But at some point, you just have to stop preparing, load the bike and go. In 2 days, we will be heading towards Romania and Red Bull Romaniacs. And honestly, I can't wait. If you are looking forward to following the adventure, make sure you have subscribed, because things are about to get pretty interesting. Thanks for watching, ride safe, and see you in the next one.